Now we're recording.
You're like, way there.
Alrighty. So another word for average. Tell your teammates if you know a second word for average. Go.
Yeah.
Mr. Courtney, what's another word for average? Starts with an M. Mean. Yes. Write this down. When you find the average of 4 and 6, we got 10. That's called the arithmetic mean. There's more than one kind of mean. What you just did was the arithmetic mean. Arithmetic. And to find that, you add and divide. To find the arithmetic mean, this is basic average, you add the two numbers, so add, then you divide. That's called the arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean. Now there's another kind of mean. Take a look here. When we did proportions, I'd like you to number these from least to greatest. We have a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 4. Where do those come from? Right here.
Right there.
The numbers that are in the very beginning and very end, box them. Right here and here, box them. Catch up, guys. Catch up. I walked into that one. Those are called the extremes. The extreme beginning and the extreme end. The extremes.
Danger
The extremes. All right. These guys in the middle, these have a name. These are not the extremes. These are not the extremes. Raise your hand if you remember what those are called. Yes, Kyle, what are they called?
Means.
They are. Fabulous.
Oh,
nice call.
good.
This is the means. Now, we have a special circumstance. Here's two fractions. We have 2/4 and 1/2. When the means... Whoops, Daisy.
Whoa. I know. Oh my God, it's sideways. Section.
Oh, guys, it's the end of the world.
It's 2012.
All right. When the means are exactly the same, that's called the geometric mean.
December.
When the means are exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How do you find the geometric mean? I'm going to do two of these with you. Ready? All right. I'm going to take 2 minutes here. You guys are just way off. You've got two. No, it's the time of everything. I'm going to give you literally 2 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. And in the timer, I want you to ask everybody how their vacation was, where they go. To find the geometric mean, it means you have the same thing in the means position. So circle, you have X and X there. Geometric mean is the same thing in the means position. So you pretend you have an X there. So now we're going to cross multiply. So we have 1 times 4. X times X is? 2X. Let's try that one more time.
X squared.
I'll pretend I didn't hear. Yes, it's X squared. Got it? Now, how to backtrack a square is square root.
Loose on our boom goes down.
No, it was not. This is completely new.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. So, X equals 2. Now, let's check to see if that actually works. Let's put a 2 here and a 2 here. So let's check. 2 over 4, does it reduce to 1/2?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Good. All right, let's try this. Cross multiply. So we have 4 times 16.
64.
Yes. Without a calculator, 4 times 16. What would be 4 times 10 out loud? 40. 4 times 6 is?
60.
24. 40 plus 20 is 4 is 64. All right, so we have 64 here equals x squared. Backtrack of a square is square root. And you get what? 8. Okay, so we put an 8 here and an 8 here. Let's check. 8 over 16 is what fraction? Half. 4 over 8 is? Half. Good. All right. Now let's try this. We are going to cross multiply again. We have x squared equals 5 times 15. X squared. 5 times 10 out loud is what? 50. 5 times 5 is? 25. 50 plus 25 is 75. Now, obviously this isn't a perfect square, so you need to be able to do this both ways. First, I will allow you to do this. You may get out your calculators, find the square root of 75.
Aaron's got it.
Take it to the first decimal. 8.7. Okay?
Yeah.
But, guys, be careful. If I ask you to have it in simplified radical form, you better be able to handle this.
Oh, no.
The tree thing. If I have 3/4. 5 times 5. If you have a date.
It's 3 root 5.
No, who has a date? 3 doesn't have a date. 5. 5 has a date. Root 3.
I remember now. 5 goes out.
For those of you like this, it's 25 times 3. If you're perfect, you get out of jail, but you have a change of heart. Whatever works. Now, let's put 8.7 here. 8.7, 8.7. Calculators. I need some of you take 5 and divide by 8.7 for me. I need others of you to do 8.7 and divide by 15.
53.58.
8.7 divided by 15. Which one did you do?
8.7 divided by
Is what?
50.58.
No, it sounds like you multiplied.
No, what?
What's the decimal here, guys? 0.58. What's this, guys? It should also be 0.58. It should work both ways. Okay? So let's recap here. Recap.
Yeah, it does.
Good. If we take these two numbers and we add and divide by 2, we get 10. This is called an average. It's also called the arithmetic mean. To find the arithmetic mean, you add and divide. Guys, you should be copying this down. The arithmetic mean is add and divide by 2 in this case. That's called the arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean.
Take the number 1.
That's the arithmetic mean. The second one, the geometric mean, we multiply and then we take the square root, and this one we already did up here. The geometric mean is 8.
So what's the answer for the third?
Down here?
No, the X.
5 root 3 or 8.7. This is called the geometric mean. And to do this, you multiply and then you take the square root. If you want a equation, you multiply and you take the square root. That gets you the geometric mean. The geometric mean.
Multiplying.
When you're done with this, I'd like you to go to... Actually, I'd like you to go to page 4, please. Have, need, do. These are the 3 phrases that you need to be intimately familiar with for this chapter. What do I have? What do I need? What do I do? We're going to be talking about today one specific scenario. We have, first off, a right triangle. So I'd like you to trace this right triangle. You start with the right triangle. Okay. So we're going to label, there's 3 things I'd like you to label. If this is a right triangle, this is across from the right angle. That's called the hypo. That's the first thing you should try to find, the hypo. Across from the main right angle. Then you have your legs. Normally you have a short leg and a long leg. We don't really know which one is which here, so I'm just going to randomly choose. This is going to be my short leg. Yes. Long leg. This from the right angle straight down, making another right angle, that's called an altitude. The altitude cuts the hypo into pieces. The 2 pieces are this. Underneath the short leg, this is called the short segment. And underneath the long leg, that's called the long segment. Now, given this scenario, we have 3 geometric means here.
It's shaking.
Yeah, dance class.
40 minutes. Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Break room.
All right. I like you to do 3 proportions. 1, 2, 3. Make 3 proportions. You're right. No, it's like the film room.
Yeah, Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall's class is above us.
Okay. Yeah.
Then above that's also the theater. There's a lot of activity over here. What I'm about to show you, you're going to need to memorize. Ready? Step number 1, the short leg. So I'm going to do S leg. The short leg is the geometric mean, so I put it in the means position. The short leg is the geometric mean between the short segment and the hypo. That's your first proportion that you have to memorize. The short leg is the geometric mean between the short segment and the hypo.
Is that what S stands for?
That's going to be our... We're getting there. We're getting there.
Over S.
The next one you need to be familiar with, the long leg. Yes. The long leg is the geometric mean between the long segment and the hypo. The long leg is the geometric mean between the long segment and the hypo. What? The long leg is the geometric mean between the long segment and the hypo. Notice the long leg's repeated.
They're diagonal to each other.
Yes. Yeah, one's a denominator, one's a numerator. Last one. The altitude. Altitude is the geometric mean between the short segment and the long segment. These are three proportions you must memorize. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I recommend you rewrite them, you re-say them. You have 2 minutes to have this memorized. There is something at stake for your memory.
Oh,
2 minutes, go.
What's AST? Oh, do you have a quiz? Alright, we still have a quiz.
Oh my gosh.
You've got 2 minutes to memorize these. I recommend you write them out loud. You write them, rewrite. Look for patterns. You've got 2 minutes. Go. Virtually impossible. Okay, think of it this way. Maybe put your hands like this. Alright, so that's going to be your short leg. Short leg is the geometric mean between the short seg and the hypotenuse. Oh, I totally get this. Short legs are the geometric mean between the short seg and the hypotenuse. The one to the right is exactly the same except it's long. The long legs are the geometric mean between the long seg and the hypotenuse. You see, they're exactly the same. One short, one long. The third one is altitude. Is the geometric mean between the segs. Out between segs. You know what we have? Between short seg and long seg.
Short leg.
This way, we know we want to
Remember what? Oh, we'll go over it. We were at least told that we're going over it sometime when we're practicing. Wait, where would we go? What? Oh, what? Can we do a field trip in this class to like somewhere shady? We're going to be holding outside and doing an experiment next week here.
There's no easy way around it.
No, not me. I didn't that week after. Where would we go?
Wow, that'd be
Stare my elbow. Stare my elbow. Stare my elbow.
Alright, guys. Take your yellow sheets, hide them somewhere so you cannot see them. I'm serious. Hide your yellows underneath something, please. Hide your yellows. Hide your yellows, please. Okay, now turn to page 5. Turn to page 5, right here. From memory, without looking, I'd like you to fill in this portion of your notes without looking, this portion. Right here, I'm going to outline it in green. Right there.
Where is it?
Right there, page 5. Page 5. Without peeking at your yellow, guys. So hide your yellow. Ready? You have 2 minutes. Go.
To find the arithmetic mean.
If you want to read it out loud, that's fine. Just don't say the answers out loud. Mumble, mumble, mumble. When you're done, start looking at the problem below it, just for kicks. We'll be doing that one. Yes, you can. So here's cell phone.
Why?
Easy, guys. Come on. You need to fill that out too.
Last one. Same one.
Keep your eyes in your own paper, guys. Be careful. While you're waiting, take a shot at reading number 1. Take a shot at reading one more. We'll wait and take a shot at number one.
Look at my paper.
I should have thought of that.
Are you cheating?
Are you guys all done? Alright guys, everybody rotate your paper to clockwise by one. Clockwise by one. So now you got to figure out what defines clockwise. Clockwise by one. It was really fun to see how confusing that was. Alright, here are your answers. Please correct the person's paper. To find the arithmetic mean, you add and then divide. Add and divide. Think average. Average. To find the geometric mean, you multiply and square root.
Square root.
So equation, you add and divide by 2 in this case. This one you multiply and square root. Both of those are means. One's the arithmetic mean, one's the geometric. Your three proportions. The short seg over the short leg equals short leg over hypo. Long goes long leg over hypo. Short segment over alt equals alt over long segment. If the person got it 100% correct, rotate back and then tell them to go get another piece of candy.
No.
They got 100%. You can go get another free piece of hard candy.
Shocker. Yeah, my favorite.
Problem number 1. I'm going to do one with you, and then you're on your own to page 6, 7, and 8. Ready? Bottom problem. Step 1. Label everything. You start labeling your short leg, long leg, hypo, and all that good stuff. Right here's my right angle. Here's my right angle. That means this whole thing is my hypo. This is my short leg. Long leg. Short segment. Long segment. The segments are always pieces of the hypo. Segments are pieces of the hypo created by the altitude. You should have these 6 things labeled in every single triangle. That should be the first thing you do. Is just label everything.
Oh, that's your right angle. Yeah.
Wow. Bye.
I told you guys the key to the universe is the right triangle. How do you turn the key? Is you ask these 3 questions. Have, need, do. What do you have? What do you need? What do you do? Step 1, let's figure out what we have here. We have the what? Altitude. So just make note. We have the altitude. And we have the
Long and short segment.
we have the short segment.
And we need to find that.
And we need the long segment. Okay, ready? Now look over here, guys. Look at these 3. 1, 2, Brandon Flores, I need your attention, please. I'm going to ask you 1, 2, and 3 in just a moment. Look at that. Look at what we have and what we need. With a show of fingers, which proportion are you going to use in this scenario? 1, 2, or 3? Go.
Put your hands up, guys.
Either proportion 1, proportion 2, or proportion 3. What are you going to use? There's no 4 there, guys. Okay, for those who said 3, you're correct. Let's write it down. Because 3 says this, I could use a short segment over the altitude equals the altitude over the long segment. Why am I using that? Because that involves the players that I want.
What?
You look at what you have and what you need.
Oh, okay.
You look at what you have and you need. That's have, need, have, need. Okay, now we do physical pickup. Our short segment here, we physically pick up that number is 3. Stay with me. This isn't hard. Stay with me. Altitude is 4. Altitude again is 4. Our long segment we do not know is Z. Cross, multiply, and solve. If it's a fraction, leave it as a fraction.
Equals. What's the answer?
Cross, multiply, and solve. Gally, you finished? Okay, guys, go on to page 6 on your own. Finish 6 and then check 6. Finish 6, check 6. It's 16 over 3. Oh, that's it? That's it. Yep. Okay, go on here. You got leveling.
Hey.
Alrighty, guys, do 6 and check 6. Do 6, 7, because there's actually a typo here I need to fix, or none of this will work. Go to page 7, please. You have a right angle that's missing. That is a right angle right there. That is a right angle right there. Without a right angle, none of that works. The next page, I forgot right angle. Okay, so finish page 6 and check page 6. Wait,
Doesn't want to deal with you right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys finish page 6? You're on your
Is that
what you said? 1 rep from each team. I'm going to do 1 problem on page 7. 1 rep from each team. What do you want me to do? 1 rep. Bring a calculator with you guys. There you go.
You're out there. Oh, come on.
Alex, Zach, or Ben? I mean, one of you up here, guys.
I will roll up.
You will roll up here. Bring your paper, bring a pencil, bring a calculator if you have it. Got it. Got it? Good. Got it? Good. Okay. So, we are going to do problem 2 together, or at least portion of 2. Okay. Actually, do you want to do 1 or 2? I'll give you a choice. 2.
To deal with you with your pornography.
I said 3. 2. Probably wait. 2? Okay. So, now what happens is I don't tell you what to find. In fact, I tell you to basically find what?
The short segment and out.
No, missing. Sides and segments. Basically, it's a squeeze a sponge problem. Find everything you can. So we're going going to start by labeling everything. If this is our right angle, right here, we're going to do 2. Then this is our hypo, right? Now start labeling everything else. This is your short leg. This is your long leg. Short seg. Long seg.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I'm insanely curious. What's an octagon?
She thinks the room is the shape of the
Well, okay, let's so 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6. Technically it's a hexagon.
It's a what?
Okay.
We're at 6, so it's an octagon.
You can't knock her for fashion. Come on, guys. Alright, so the key here is have. I missed you guys. I really did. I really did. Okay, so look at what we have and what we need.
With my pen.
We have a long leg, right? And we have a long segment. And we have a short leg. Now, basically, I want you to find everything else. There's no rule that says you have to use all 3. But what could we possibly, if we have long leg and which one could we use? Do we have the altitude?
No, never mind.
We only have one of the segments, so keep looking. What could we do? We have 2 longs, don't we? So look here, what could go with 2 longs?
2.
Yeah.
The second one. You're right. So the long, it says this, we could do this. We know the long seg over the long leg equals long leg over hypo. Right? We have both your longs. The long leg we actually know. The hypo we don't. So in this case, our long segment is 12. What's our long leg? 13 equals, yeah, long leg again, which is 13 over hypo, which is now x.
13 times 13 is 169.
Divided by 12. Go ahead and get your decimal there. Some of you have a calculator handy. Where's
14.6.
Thank you. What is it?
It comes out like 14 points.
So, CCS.
Close.
Okay.
What is it? 14 point what? Take it to the first decimal. Point one. You're correct. Okay. So the hypo is 14.1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 169 over 12 equals x. No, we're not.
Stop playing with my
Okay.
pen.
Now, what else can we find?
We can find the altitude. Maybe.
Okay, to get the altitude, we need the what?
Short segment.
Okay. We can, but we first have to find something first. Ready? Trace the hypo. Trace the long seg. What can you now find?
Short seg.
Which is?
14.1 minus 12.
Yeah, do you see? It's not even a proportion. This is 14.1. This is 12. How could you find that?
How'd you get 14.1?
Cross it. 169 divided by 12. Cross multiply. Bingo.
And then you use the...
Yeah. Now you have both segments. Now that you have both segments, you can go for the altitude and you're done.
Okay.
Well, look here. What goes with altitude? What goes with altitude? Right here under geometric mean. You see it? Yeah, short and long segments go with that. So this one, short segment over alt equals alt over long segment. And you have, we have our segments. This is 2.1, and this is 12. That's not fine. What's x times x? Yes. Yes, so in this case, we're going to have x squared equals 2.1 times 12. You take it from there. Okay? Okay. You go back and explain this to your your team. Go. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Vacation brain. I like you to explain problems too. Come on.
I have to take on it.
I cannot focus. They're mentally unstable. They keep getting distracted over like not enjoy life. You should.
You're not
I secretly like everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the team.
Oh my God!
Gentlemen, did you write your pudding down? You did? That sounds like someone.
Oh my God! No. Yes! Oh my God.
So you're going to go.
There you go.
Well, cases.
I guess it's
I think get yourself away from it.
Whoa.
I like the nose. I like the whole thing.
So did you do one?
What is that? Is that a weapon? Do we need to have a gun right now? What is it?
I think that it's
Oh, this is as bad as that. Whoa there. You're serious. I need a free clown.
Why can't we do that?
I know that.
Doesn't even look like
I guess now that you say it, I never knew. I would never know. It doesn't look bad.
How did you even get that idea? And I honestly think you should get What are you?
You guys are going. You guys are going on the show.
Anybody know?
There you go.
Doesn't make sense.
You don't make sense.
Wait, Kyle.
Wait, Caitlin.
You know, like the
I swear they see
What? 14.9.
They pick it up at the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I told you. Hopefully, it looks like better, or else we're all gonna like die. There's Tyler's late. What was I in bathroom time?
Yeah, the other one kept getting left behind.
Yeah.
That was a little bit more obvious geometry here.
Is this the thing you use for pool tables?
And then you go,
Why would they turn back to the
If my sister sucked up my hair, she's like, shut off the back. So she did this instead. She's like,
I'm gonna shake.
Are you talking about the same way?
You start using it. Same concept. It will get you a lot further in life. Practice makes perfect. Especially since you're one of the biggest. Yeah, you should have to do your thing. Shake weight. Shake weight.
Here, JL is on the Alright guys, I need your attention. 5, 4, 3, listen up. 2 and 1. Okay, guys, I need your attention, please.